days, 2 innings of the Sydney Test match is done. India had managed to make 185. Australia have managed 181. A lead of 4 runs for India. It's not much, but at least India can say that they are slightly on top because they managed to take all the wickets and ensure that they got a 4-run lead. Now, this particular SCG wicket is unlike any that we have seen in the past because it is quicker, there is still more bounce, there is a lot of assistance for the fast bowlers, and because of that, Bo Webster's 50 was very, very vital. Yes, the last 4 wickets ensured that 60 runs were scored. Australia came close, but Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad Siraj, and Nitish Reddy, all of them chipped in with a couple of wickets. Prasidh Krishna with 3, Siraj, Nitish Reddy, and Jasprit Bumrah with 2 wickets apiece. But now there is a massive, massive problem. India may well have a 4-run lead, and looking at the way how the pitch is behaving, perhaps you can expect a couple more wickets to fall by the end of the day today because now the final session is there. This was the best batting conditions, by the way, because day 2 it would quicken up, but with the old ball, potentially batting does become a bit easier. But once you settle in also, this wicket is not letting you settle in. So that is why bowlers will continue to have a field day. But everybody's concern is on this particular individual, Jasprit Bumrah. Now, what happened was after the lunch break, Bumrah was nowhere seen. He had gone out of the SCG, he then went into a car and then he's been taken to hospitals for scans. We don't know what is the nature of the scans. Only after the end of the day today, you'll probably find out what is Jasprit Bumrah's status. He had gone to hospital for scans because of a bad back. He was complaining of back pain, and because of that, he's gone for scans. And looking at the way how he was taken, it didn't look good. The workload had to tell on Jasprit Bumrah because in the entire year, he's played about 13-14 tests. In this series alone, he's bowled over 150 plus overs. And that is the reason why Jasprit Bumrah, if he is not available to bowl in the 4th innings, then India are in trouble. Because boosted by Bumrah's absence, Australia will be galvanized. The match is very much 50-50. Let us make no mistake about it. Because a 4-run lead isn't saying much. Sure, India have managed a lead despite the circumstances. But this pitch has not eased off. And that is why how the result of this test match will pan out remains to be seen. By this, what we have now summarized is that this test is not going to the 5th day. The 5th day is the day where rain was going to impact the Sydney test match, and that is not happening now. 4th day, there is little bit chances of rain that is there, but that is towards the fag end. So India will want a total in excess of 250 so that Australia cannot chase it down. Chasing in Sydney is a problem, and that is why on this wicket, whether India make full use of it, it remains to be seen. KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, all of them will have to step up at this stage. So that's why big onus on the Indian cricket team and the batters for one last time in this BGT that is coming up after the tea break. So you are getting a 12:30 extension anyways. Tea is anyway been taken because 10-minute exchange, then anyway you would have had to have tea. So that's why at the stroke of tea, when Scott Boland fell, that was the time they decided to take the tea break. So that's why now you'll have a tea break. Then from now till 12:30 p.m. IST, you're going to see uninterrupted action at this stage. Australia will be determined to ensure that they make as many inroads as possible today. Whether India can achieve something spectacular for one last time at the SCG, that remains to be seen now. So, lots at stake coming up. But remember, if India win in Sydney, 47-year jinx is broken. Last time you won was in 1978. But India have not won since then. Now, if India win this match, the BGT is theirs. But WTC final is not in their hands anymore now. So that is why the main aim that India will be having at this point in time is to retain the BGT back. That's the one thing that's there. But Bumrah, whether he will be available for the 4th innings, it remains to be seen now because India's potency will be reduced at this stage. Whether they will risk him bowling not 100% is also not known. Because Bumrah not being 100% will also not be valid. Because if you look at it, 1 month later, you're the Champions Trophy. If you don't have a Jasprit Bumrah, you are in trouble. So that's why you have to ensure that he manages his fitness well. But his back problem has flared up yet again. 150 plus overs, this was bound to happen anytime sooner. The fact that India are only 1-2 down in the series is all thanks to Jasprit Bumrah, because he's kept India single-handedly alive in this entire series. The batters have had only few moments, but apart from that, they have been a failure in the series. Only certain moments. But now, for one last time, the Indian batters will need to step up at the SCG. And that's why now, final session will be crucial. If India manages to do well, then perhaps the series is going to be 2-2. If India doesn't do well, then Australia have a firm toehold in this match. Because if it was a 40-run lead, then you would have said India are on top. But a 4-run lead, it's still very, very much 50-50. Maybe 50.1 to India, 49.9 to India, Australia, but that is not saying much. So we are all set to ensure that the match is going to begin in the next 10 minutes or so. But this has been an action-packed morning already, as it has always been in the BGT. First, Rohit Sharma had come for the break in the press in the middle, and he said that I am not retiring, I am not going anywhere. He made the decision primarily because he was not in form. So this is unprecedented what has happened in Sydney. A captain dropping himself in the course of a series, it has never ever happened. Yes, everybody else like Kumble, Dhoni, they retired midway. But he's not retired. He stepped out because he was not in form. Priority was to win Sydney, and Rohit not performing. Now it is certified. In this BGT, Rohit has got 31 runs, Bumrah has got 32 wickets. That stat will always say Bumrah's got more wickets than Rohit Sharma as far as runs are concerned. So, this is the reason why Bumrah, when he took those 2 wickets, it was a record. Because now he's got the most wickets ever by a pacer in the history of the BGT. He surpassed Craig McDermott, although Craig McDermott's was not in a BGT. At that time in 1991, it was not a BGT. That is why 96 onwards till now, the highest number of wickets by a pacer in the history of the Border-Gavaskar Trophy is now Jasprit Bumrah. He's level with Harbhajan Singh for most wickets. But will he add on to that tally in the 4th innings? That remains to be seen now. So a massive, massive final session is about to begin now at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Tomorrow anyway is G.N. McGrath Day, and that's why it will be the moving day. Perhaps you could see a result even tomorrow as well. Perhaps you could see a result potentially on day 4, but we are not going to day 5. This has now been summarized now. 20 wickets have fallen in 2 days. It's only going to get worse as the game progresses. There is a bit of bounce, there is a bit of movement with the new ball, the first 25-30 overs. But with this new Kookaburra ball, we don't know how it is, because even with the older ball, you saw that there was certain movement that was available. The pitch is also greener, 7mm grass, and that is why the Australian bowlers, Cummins, Stark, Boland and Bo Webster will all be determined to ensure that they get the wickets quickly, run through the Indian batting and ensure that they do well on day 3 as well. So, Bumrah's injury, whether he will be fit to bowl in the 4th innings, that remains to be seen. But if he's not fit, big blow for India then. So, very much even Steven heading into the final session today on day 2. Let's see how it pans out now. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.